terrified. Listen to me, Republicans, listen. You are the people in history they warned us about. They warned us about people like you. Pay attention. We're losing our democracy. Wake up. Wake up.
You're supporting
Abortion?
You're supporting abortion?
Yeah.
Really? So what's so great about abortion?
It's awesome. I've had 3.
Okay. Is that a good thing?
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
Okay, so here we go. Here we go, guys.
Yeah,
Not
here we go. This is
not
what you
respecting.
expected.
Not respecting other So you're celebrating abortion.
Fuck yes, I'm celebrating abortion. I had one a month ago and it was fucking great. Yeah, thank you. I haven't told a lot of people.
Also, can I have a hug?
Yes!
Today's podcast will focus on neuroweapons and weaponizing brain science, and to talk about this topic, I'm excited to welcome back Dr. James Giordano.
Dr. Giordano is a professor in the Departments of Neurology and Biochemistry, chief of the Neuroethics Studies program, and co-director of the O'Neill Pellegrino Program in Brain Science and Global Law and Policy at Georgetown University Medical Center. He is a research fellow in biosecurity, technology, and ethics at the U.S. Naval War College, an appointed member of DARPA's Neuroethics Legal and Social Issues Advisory Panel,
An appointed member of DARPA's Neuroethics Legal and Social Issues Advisory Panel, DARPA's
Senior Advisory Fellow of the Defense Operational Cognitive Sciences Section, Strategic Multilayer Assessment Group, Joint Staff the Pentagon, and a consulting bioethicist for the Defense Medical Ethics Committee. He has previously served as a Donovan Fellow for Biowarfare and Biodefense at U.S. Special Operations Command, and as an appointed member of the Department of Health and Human Services Secretary's Advisory Committee on Human Research Protection.
So with that introduction, Dr. Giordano, thanks so much for joining us today.
Thanks, it's great to be back. Thank you very much.
So just to kick us off and to kind of level set before we dive in deeper, can you define what you mean by the word neuroweapons?
You know, the idea of using any instrument or method as means of contending against others is a very formal definition of a weapon. But again, by operational definition, what a weapon does is in some way alters that individual's thoughts, emotions, behaviors.
How is everyone doing?
Physical nature, health, in such a way that is going to be more amenable to the individual who is yielding the weapon. So in other words, I'm changing an individual's stance towards me in some way and making them engage in a stance that's more aligned with what I want them to be. That's a formal definition of a weapon that comes right out of the Oxford English Dictionary. If we put the neuro prefix to weapon, what we're really looking at is harnessing the neurological system, both peripherally and centrally, and its functions of thought, emotions, and behavior, so as to then yield instruments, methods, techniques, tactics, and tools that can then be leveraged against others so as for us to then gain some purchase over their thoughts, emotions, and conduct. So a neuroweapon is essentially any weaponized method or tool that acts through the nervous system or at the nervous system, upon the nervous system, to influence and change the attitudes, feelings, thoughts, behaviors of others.
Because I just want to purchase something for
Fuck
myself.
off, dude! Fuck off! Get the fuck off in here, man! Fuck, man! Fucking can't stand your racist motherfuckers!
Racist?
Yeah!
Sure.
Right?
I'm not a racist.
I got a fucker.
So a neuroweapon is essentially any weaponized method or tool that acts through the nervous system or at the nervous system, upon the nervous system, to influence and change the attitudes, feelings, thoughts, behaviors of others.
Here's where you're at.
Leave the store!
Here's
Leave
where-
the store!
here's where
Leave
I'm
the
at, dude.
store! Fuck off! I
influence and change the attitudes, feelings, thoughts, behaviors of others.
Help your customer!
Fuck off! Fuck off!
We can go further than that as well. We can also utilize these interventional technologies in those ways that may able to directly affect the brain. Probably the one that you've heard about most recently, most contemporaneously in the literature, is the possibility to use some form of directed energy to affect physiology peripherally and also to affect the physiology and health of the brain. Case in point here, U.S. Embassy personnel in Havana and possibly in China. And of course, there's not a lot that I can tell you about that, although I am one of the researchers on that particular project. But this seems to be wholly indicative and supportive of the fact that this was at least some form of directed energy, whether it was wholly intentional or not, still remains to be definitively decided. However, the pattern of insult and injury to those individuals and the pattern of injury of who was affected strongly suggests that this was an intentional and directed engagement, and that this represents a beta test, a possible probe of a directed energy neuroweapon. And there are a number of countries that had developed initiatives and agenda towards developing just these types of things, the United States included.
Holy fucking shit, you guys! I'm driving your car, but I just got a notification that Ruth Bader Ginsburg died! Fuck! Could this year get any fucking worse? Ruth, you just had to make it to 2021!
So happy that I'm alive to see it come down and to see black people take it down. Do you understand? Not the city, not your mayor, not nobody important, not the people that put it up. Black people are taking down this hate. Do you understand? Taking it down.
The brain is the current and future battle space, or at least one that can be leveraged in those ways to be able to create tremendous effect with fairly little investment of engagement. In other words, what it allows us to do is assess the brain, access the brain, and affect the brain.
I'm gonna vote blue, whoever who, because that's what we're fucking supposed to do. I'm gonna vote blue, whoever who, because that's what we're fucking supposed to do.
Remember these three letters: A, and A. A, the ability to assess the brain and its functions. A, the ability to access the brain on a variety of levels, from the subcellular all the way to the social. And A, the ability to affect the brains and the individuals in which those brains are embodied and the ecologies in which those individuals enact, engage, encounter, from the level of the individual to the group, to the community, to the populational. Look at the power that understanding tools and techniques of the brain sciences afford. It's there before you on the screen. Obviously, if in fact this gives me some insight to the way people interact, inclusive of the way they may interact in bellicose, aggressive, violent, and volatile ways, and it also confers upon me certain powers to be able to influence that, alter that, change that, mitigate that, then clearly I'm able to use the brain sciences as we have tried repeatedly in the past. This is what this is about. It's not just a question of trying to figure out what makes the brain tick in the way it's built. It's can we get in there to affect the ticking and talking, and by affecting the way that brain is built and the way it functions, influence in ways that are kinetic and non-kinetic, the attitudes, beliefs, thoughts, emotions, activities, and relative vulnerabilities and predispositions of those individuals for whom both we are responsible in terms of our own forces, perhaps to make them better, more insulated against injury, operationally protected and enhanced, and those who may threaten us.
Hey, leave shit out of me, please. Hey, let me just leave.
I know, they don't need her to represent you. I know, you guys thought you.
Get in my house without that. I can't even get into my house without that. I can't even get into my house without my backpack. I need my ID. I can't get a hold of my therapist. I'm gonna shoot myself in the fucking head. I'm gonna shoot myself in the